time for another movie plot. This time, we are going back to 2005, and we're gonna do Chicken Little. So, Chicken Little is about a chicken who has a theory that the sky is falling, but that it only turns him into a complete outcast. And I'm about to tell you the story. So, in the town of Oak Oaks, Chicken Little O'Clock rings the school bell and warns everyone to run for their lives. This sends the town into a panic. Eventually, the head of the fire department calms down enough to ask him what is going on. And he explains that the sky is falling because a piece of it had fallen on his head when he was sitting under the big oak tree in the town square. However, he could not find the piece. His father, Buck Ace Cluck, who was once a high school baseball star, assumes that it was just an acorn that had fallen off the tree and had hit him in the head, making Chicken Little the laughingstock of the town. A year later, Chicken Little has become infamous in the town for being prone to ruining everything accidentally. And he goes to school only for him to miss the bus, and he has to chase down the bus and run all the way to school. When he gets there, he soda pops himself through the gym window, finds his locker, and he ends up getting locked in there. And he misses homeroom. He eventually reunites with his three friends, Abby, Mallard, Runt, and Fish Out of Water, in gym class as they play a game of dodgeball, only for it to get out of hand and one of the popular students, Foxy Loxy, starts to bully Chicken Little. And her henchwoman, Goosey Lucy, he fires Chicken Little like an arrow at the window, causing him to flop down and accidentally pull the fire alarm, which sent him to the principal's office, while his father talks to Principal Fetchin. And in the car, Chicken Little decides to tell his dad that he's thinking about joining the school's baseball team to recover his reputation and his father's pride. But is made last until the ninth inning of the last game. And he hits the ball and makes it past first, second, and third base, but is met at home plate by the outfielders. He tries sliding onto the home plate, but is touched by the ball. While it is presumed he lost the game, the umpire decides to brush away the dust, only to reveal that Chicken Little was touching home plate, thus declaring him safe, and the game won. Chicken Little is now hailed as a hero for winning the pennant. Later that night, back at home, Chicken Little is celebrating his win as he sings "We Are the Champion" on his bed. Then his dad comes in with a baseball mitt and they have some fun and decide to have a nice chat on the bed. And when his dad leaves the room, Chicken Little looks up at the bright star in the sky and thanks it for his chance. But then it starts to get brighter, only for Chicken Little to soon get knocked in the head again by the same piece of the sky. only to find out that it is not that, but rather a panel that blends into the background, which would thereby explain why Chicken Little could not find it the last time. He calls his friends over to help figure out what it is, interrupting a karaoke session that Abby and Runt were doing. They were literally doing some Spice Girls. So, Abby, Runt, and Fish come to Chicken Little's house, and they check out the panel. And when Fish presses a button on the back of the hexagon, it flies into the sky, and taking Fish with it. It turns out to be a part of the camouflage of an invisible UFO piloted by two aliens. Chicken Little, Abby, and Runt rescue Fish and discover that the aliens are heading to Earth. The two aliens attack the group, chasing them through a cornfield. They rush back to the school, where Chicken Little takes a soda pop and flies up to the bell once again as he begins to ring it to warn everyone. But the aliens escape just on time before the residents of the town show up, leaving an orange alien child behind. No one believes the story of the alien invasion, and Chicken Little's reputation is ruined again. Even his father loses all trust. And Chicken Little is basically destroyed. Like, no one likes him at this point. The next morning, he and his friends discover the orange alien named Kirby. And minutes later, a fleet of aliens descend on the town and start what appears to be an invasion. The invasion, however, is actually a misunderstanding, as the two aliens are looking for their lost child and attack only out of concern. As the aliens rampage throughout Okoks, supposedly vaporizing everything in their path, Chicken Little realizes he must return Kirby to his parents to save the planet. As Chicken Little and Kirby end up in a movie theater, Buck soon regains his pride and trust in his son. And then, before leaving, Chicken Little out of nowhere gives Abby a little kiss, making her get love struck. In the invasion, Buck defends him from the aliens until he and Chicken Little end up getting vaporized along with Kirby. The aliens, however, are not actually vaporizing people, but teleporting them aboard the UFO. It turns out the aliens were touring Earth and came across the town for its acorns. The ship has broken in camo panels that fell and hit Chicken Little on the head. After everything is explained, the apologetic aliens return everything to normal, and everyone is grateful for Chicken Little's efforts to save the town. Another year later, Chicken Little, Buck, his friends, and the citizens of Okoks watch an in-universe movie depicting a fanciful or retelling of the events that transpired, portraying Chicken Little as an action hero named Ace. Yeah, I mean, Chicken Little is just as insane. It's one of the best. The film was originally scheduled for release on July 1st, 2005, but on December 7th, 2004, its release date was pushed back to November 4th, 2005. The release date that was originally slated for Disney Pixar's Cars, the release date change was also the day before DreamWorks Animation changed the release date of Shrek the Third. At this time of the release of Chicken Little, the co-production deal between Disney and Pixar was set to expire with the release of Cars in 2006. The result of the continuous negotiations between Disney and Pixar was viewed to depend heavily on how Chicken Little performed at the box office. In September 2001, director Mark Dendle developed the idea for Chicken Little, with its title character envisioned as a female chicken with the voice of Holly Hunter that went to summer camp to reduce her anxiety, as well as repair her relationship with her father. At the summer camp, she would uncover a nefarious plot that her camp counselor, who was to be voiced by Penn and Jillette, was playing against her hometown. Dindal would later pitch his idea to Michael Eisner, who suggested it would be better to change Chicken Little into a male because, as Dindal recalls, if you're a boy and you're short, you get picked on. However, Dindal later clarified that the decision was made in part due to market research at the time, stating, "I remember being told girls will go see a movie with a boy protagonist, but boys won't see a movie with a girl protagonist." That was the wisdom at the time, until Frozen comes out and makes $1 billion. So the casting. When originally envisioned as a female character, Holly Hunter provided the voice for the title character for 8 months, until it was decided for Chicken Little to be a male. Plenty of actors, such as Michael J. Fox, Matthew Broderick, and David Spade, were originally considered for the role. Against 40 actors competing for the title role, Zach Braff auditioned, where Dindal noted he pitched his voice slightly to sound like a junior high kid. Right there, that was really unique. And then he had such great energy. Therefore, Zach Braff got the role. In April 2002, Variety reported that Sean Hayes was to voice a character named the Ugly Duckling, but the character was rewritten into a female, now conceived as Abby Mallard Hunter. Plenty of actresses had auditioned for it, such as Jamie Lee Curtis, Sarah Jessica Baker, Jodie Foster, Gina Davis, and even Madonna were considered. But Joan Cusack won the role for her natural comedy. In December 2003, it was announced that Braff and Cusack were cast along with cast members. including Steve Zahn, Amy Cedris, Don Knotts, Kay Finneran, and Gary Marshall. Marshall was asked to provide a voice for Kingdom of the Sun, which was reconceived into The Emperor's New Groove and directed by Dindal, but was removed from the project for being too New York. When he was approached to provide the voice for Buck Cluck, Marshall claimed, "I said I don't do voices. You want a chicken that talks like me? Fine." So they hired me, and they didn't fire me, and it was like a closure on animation. Australian comedian Mark Mitchell was hired to dub the voice of Buck Cluck for the Australian release of the film, as a decision by Disney to get a natural celebrity to publicize the film. All right, I think that's enough. Peace out.